Hey, Dad, we're planning to go to Walt Disney World January 17th and 26th. Won't be at the parks every day, but we're staying on site. I have viewed the crowd calendars for that time, and for the most part, it looks like crowds will be low. I was wondering if you could give me some experience or some idea as to what low crowd levels are characterized as. The majority of lines less than 10 minutes. Also, with low crowd levels, do you think it will be easier or harder to get reservations? Thanks in advance. All right. This is really a good question. I said it again. This is really a good question because we talk all the time. I talk all the time about crowd levels: low, medium, moderate, busy. Our crowd calendars have crowd levels on them. But what does that really mean? So here's I made a little chart, and maybe we should put this together and post it somewhere, Stephanie. Here's what I say. Low crowds on the slow rides, the ones that never really have long lines, on those slow rides, you can just walk on during low crowd times. On the moderately busy rides, the ones that typically have 20, 30, 45-minute lines, those lines will be 10 to 15 minutes. On the busy rides, the Space Mountains, the Sorens, the Test Track, those rides, they're going to be around 30 minutes or so. So that's during slow times of the year, low crowds, slow crowds. During moderate crowd periods, slow rides will be 10 to 15 minutes lines. The moderate rides, 25 to 40 minutes. Busy rides, 60 or so minutes. And you'll start to see some lines at restaurants. If you go to Casey's Corner, you might have to wait. Lines might be 3 or 4 people deep, 2 or 3 people deep. All right, for heavy crowds, slow rides, when they're heavy crowds, are going to be 20 to 30 minutes. On the moderate rides, you're going to have 45 to 60 minutes. On the busy rides, you're going to have 90 plus minutes. And then if you go to like Casey's, let's say Casey's Corner, you're going to have to wait 10, 15 minutes to order, to get your order in. Maybe up to 30 minutes. Now, the extreme crowd times, the Christmas week, the Christmas week and maybe President's Day week, maybe some time during, not so much in the summer anymore, maybe some time during spring break. The extreme crowd, slow rides are going to be 45 to 60 minutes minimum. Moderate rides, 90 to 120 minutes. The busy rides, just forget it. They'll be 240 minutes or more. It'll be crazy. Or 120 minutes, 240 minutes, it'll just be crazy. And they've actually started doing ADRs to get fast food during the busy time. So it can be extremely busy. It is extremely busy during the extreme crowd times. Reservations hard to get during slow periods. Depends on what kind of reservations. Room reservations, yes and no. You sometimes see that more people are staying on the Disney resorts because the prices are down. So they can actually be a little more hard to get during slow times than you would expect. ADRs, the hard restaurants are always going to be hard to get. The Ohanas, the Le Celliers, the Cinderella's Royal Table, those are always going to be hard to get, even during slow times. The rest of them, you'll find there'll be some availability. Now, it may be late at night, but there'll be a lot more availability. So I hope that helps. I hope that lines out what the crowd levels really mean.